So guys, it's now time to move on with our site development. So we have already looked at how we can actually manipulate our PHP scripts. We have already learned about all the basic stuff that we need, and we are ready to go. Now, before we actually move on with our site development, we need to know a little bit about the folder structures or the directory structures that we will have to create for our project. And also, we will have to know about something that's known as the Bootstrap framework. So this is basically a front-end framework, and this front-end framework, what it actually means is that it's going to give you a startup platform. So you won't have to create your own CSS style sheets, or if you want to create a slideshow or a slider on your website, you don't even have to go to the extra mile of creating those extra JavaScript scripts to create that slider. So what we will have to do is that we will have to download this front-end framework, of course, and the advantage of this front-end framework is that you can pretty much actually test this using your browser. So if you are running this on a Mac like me, you will obviously have the accessibility of the Safari browser. Then you will also have the advantage of using the Google Chrome. Then you will also have the advantage of using Firefox. Now, because I'm running this on a Mac, I won't be able to show you how this site that we're going to develop will act on the Internet Explorer. Now, the first thing that we are going to do is to download this, and this front-end framework, after you have downloaded this, you'll get something that, you know, it will already have a folder structure, but we won't follow what they're going to give us. The reason is that we are going to create our site in a different manner. The front-end framework will basically give you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we are actually basically interested in the CSS, and perhaps we can use some of its JS scripts. Now, the CSS is actually very essential in our script when you are trying to make your site very responsive, and responsive in the sense that you want your visitors to be able to create your site on a mobile basis and a tablet basis. Whenever they're trying to view your site on an iPad or on a tablet, then your site will have to respond according to the resolution. So if I want to create a site that needs to respond, like, you can actually look at this site. This site, which is also using the Bootstrap, of course, so it's actually responding when I decrease the size of the browser. So it's also decreasing the resolution. If I increase the resolution, it's going back to the desktop version. Now, if I decrease it to the minimum, which is actually quite pretty much of what you get when you try to view this on a mobile phone or a cell phone, like your iPhone maybe, then you'll obviously need to have a site that will respond to these changes. So if you look carefully into this resolution, then these resolutions, when I go back to my desktop version like this, I look at this. I mean, you should look at this navigation or this menu. So if I'm actually sitting right now with the desktop version. So this this desktop version doesn't actually change if I even go for the fullest level, which is the full width. And if I actually start decreasing this, if I start decreasing the the resolution or the size of the browser, then it starts to respond accordingly. So when I decrease it to the level of something like a tablet, then you see that your the navigation, the menu actually disappears, and instead of those menu items or the menu links, we get something like a button. And if we click this button, you will see that this smoothly slides down and it gives us all the menu items or the menu links. So if I even click this, it's going to disappear. If I click this on, it's going to appear. So likewise, if I go down, if I scroll down, then you see the pictures are quite different than when we were actually at the desktop full width. So this actually changes. So the change occurs when we move on to the tablet level. So from 3 columns like this, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 columns on a desktop level. It's moving on to a single column where it's showing each item on a single column. Now if we decrease the size even further like this, you see the writings even respond to this decrease. So does the images. So these are basically images, and they are decreasing in sizes because our device will be smaller. So we actually want that to happen when our visitors tries to visit our site using this using their phones. So in order to make a site like this, we will have to take help of this front-end framework. So this front-end framework is basically going to handle all the cross platform or the cross browser, these discrepancies, and it's also going to take into account of how your site is going to respond when we are developing it for our mobile users and also for our tablet users. And obviously we are also going to look at how we can actually use it to make it responsive for our desktop users. Now in order to get this, obviously you will have to click this download button, and after you download this, you'll get, even before you download this, you can actually customize this according to your needs. Now if you want all those components, if you want the JavaScript components like the popovers, the modals, the tooltips, the drop downs, if you need them, then of course you should tick them, and at the end you should click on the download button, like where is it? Okay, so after you are done with all those, like, you can actually go for this, but we are not going to actually look at all of this stuff. Now if you want the components like the navbar, so we have looked at the navbar like this navbar actually responds to our resolution changes. So when we decrease the size of the browser and we move on to the resolution for a tablet, then we are going to need something of those components like the where is it? The navbar. So this navbar component is actually going to help us make our navigation responsive. And there are other components like the pagination, the breadcrumbs, and you might not need all of those, so it's better to customize this for your own site.